We see the broken buildings in Syria after these 7 years, the roads overrun by tanks. What about the families broken apart, scattered throughout the country and throughout the world for that matter? Syrians are desperate to reclaim their lives and their families. Bassam Rifai is an advisor to the Syrian American Council. We talked about his family's fight to survive and create new lives and what he would like to see happen next in Syria. Bassam, could you tell me a little bit about your family and the connection to Syria?
Sure. So I'm first generation American. The rest of my family is all from Syria. My family is still all either in Syria. I have family that have been lost there. And I also have family who are now refugees all throughout the world.
You know, it bears underscoring that this is through no fault of their own. You know, it's not as though they were wanting to move to these far-flung places, or be uprooted from their lives and businesses and educations.
No, absolutely not. In fact, I'll tell you, on a very specific personal standpoint, my cousin, who was one of the smartest people I've ever known, he worked for actually Ernst & Young in Syria before the war, and he was an analyst in the petroleum industry. And when the war happened, his family was forced to leave. His direct family is forced to leave the country. His father is a doctor. They are his entire family. His parents are separate from him now. Everybody is separate. He was forced to go to Egypt actually, and he hasn't been able to get a job ever since the war. Really? We're talking about years now. Ernst & Young left Syria. He moved on to Egypt, and he's making sandwiches on the street.
For the security of the country going forward and its stability, it seems as though many people are torn over whether Assad must go. There might be a personal feeling, but then again, people wonder who would come in to fill that void. Do you think most Syrians want him to go or to stay?
So, even when the guns stop firing and the world turns away, I can tell you Assad will continue to torture and arrest people. That's the baseline. That's why Assad needs to go. But the common misconception is that if Assad leaves, if the Assad regime is gone, well, there's no one else there. That's just not true. There is an opposition leadership, a very strong opposition leadership, in fact, that has serious Syrian support. That being said, they still need the world's support. They need the United States to step up and provide them the resources and give them a stronger foothold.
What is your dream for your family, for Syria, over the next year and over the next decade?
My dream is for the United States to realize that a long-term anti-terror strategy requires protecting Syrian civilians and requires the baseline of Assad to be removed from power.